All right, my man, today is Thursday. It is June 12th. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. Before we get going here, I want to talk about these beautiful cans of Ghost on our desk. I'm drinking the Welch's Grape right now. You ever have this one, Cheah?
Yes, that one is actually my favorite. That was a new release, I think, around sometime in the fall. Once it came out, was a heater.
Yes, this is my favorite as well. It's my number one. It's fantastic. I was just at the store. Like, this place is loaded with Ghosts, and I bought this because I was like, I need the Welch's Grape.
You need to try it?
Yeah, you got the peaches over there.
I got the peaches. I love the branding they got on these cans. They're just awesome.
Yes, it's good.
The cherry limeade is very good. Cubby's branded.
Yes, exactly. You're wearing a Cubs jersey too?
I am. I'm wearing a Cubs jersey. Go Cubs go. PCA for MVP. Yes, all the flavors are really good. All pretty unique too.
And they also have the flavor of the summer. It's the all-new Ghost Energy Iced Tea Lemonade, bursting with lemonade, and finishing with a smooth, sweet tea flavor. This can is the perfect ride-along all summer long. You could sip it at the golf course, the pickleball courts, the beach all summer, like I said. Like all other Ghosts, it's fully transparent, fully loaded, feel-good energy, zero sugars, no artificial flavors, 200 milligrams of natural caffeine, and it is now sold nationwide for a limited time only. Don't sleep on this epic flavor. Go drink your Ghost, folks. All right, so Brain Clash. I'm going to call this episode 4.
Okay.
You think it's episode 4?
I would say this is episode 2.
Really?
Yeah, I think 2.
Yeah.
We've done another one.
We've done one in this
unofficially.
office and one in the old office.
Yes.
Where did we do one in this office? I don't remember that.
We did one.
A long time
While
ago.
ago.
Yeah,
Okay.
all right, well, let's call it episode 3 then, okay?
We can agree to that.
Brain Clash, two of the most beautiful brains of the company, White Sox Dave, Steven Cheah. I'm just kind of moderating here. Steven, you sent me a plethora of topics.
I want to talk about those topics. I think you can say plethora too.
No, you can't.
You don't like?
It's
What's
plethora.
wrong? All
That's
right.
the only way to pronounce it.
Usually they'll get on me for pronunciation, so.
It's plethora, but I feel like plethora as well. Not just from Ed right now.
I mean, certainly.
But nevertheless, we had a couple of previous brain clashes. The first one being like 3 years ago. So Ed sends this text kind of late last night. What time was it? Like 9 maybe?
Yeah.
10?
Yeah.
I was getting ready for bed and see it. I'm like, boom, love it. And full disclosure, 3 years ago, we had I'm calling it the brain clash, whatever you want to call it. We talked about how Steven Cheah's favorite video ever was, I believe, a 27-minute video talking about how to eat box.
How long it was.
And then Ed's like, yeah, bring some takes. Fast forward to last night. He's like, bring some takes for tomorrow. And Steven Cheah goes to, if you get into a car and you are rear-ended, how would you exit your vehicle?
Well, to be fair.
What food is most enhanced on a grill? Like, I knew where Ed was going with it, and then Steven Cheah just took it to the most, like,
to be fair,
surface value.
To be fair to Cheah does the yak prep sheet, and I think he does a really good job on it.
He does.
Thank you.
Like, there is always engaging, debateful topics. I don't know if debateful is a word, but I told him, I commented, I was like, genuinely, I think you do a good job, because obviously people give you a lot of shit, but I think he sent those tailing off of that as well.
Correct. These are all things that have been previously maybe put on the list and maybe lately discussed or not heavily discussed. I have a new topic that just came to me.
Let's do it.
Straight off of the Ghost read.
Let's
something that I do, and so I'm trying not to drink less alcohol. I had an issue after the last case race, so I'm trying to wean it down, not do too much booze. At the soup, and I'm a casino guy, big casino guy. In New Orleans, I think I went every night to the casino. Love playing table games, love sitting down, having a drink. But I'm trying to do less booze. My new casino drink, what do you think about this? Arnold Palmer, half and half. I asked, I think, Roan to get, because he was like, oh, what do you guys want to drink? I was like, Arnold Palmer. He gave me the craziest look. The casino messed it up 75% of the time.
How do you mess up an Arnold Palmer? It's half lemonade, half iced tea, right? That's it?
I think it's not a commonly asked for drink when alcohol is available free of cost.
Well, sure. But at the same time, it's still just half lemonade.
Right. But the question is, what is your guys' ideal casino drink?
No, they messed it up when they got to you, or they messed it up like they're like, what is that?
What is that? One time I got just full iced tea. One time I got full lemonade. A comedy of errors.
Yeah.
But every time they messed it up, I got on a heater. So
What is
I
my
loved it.
casino drink?
Yeah.
Just a beer, or
Yeah.
I will grab every single mini water that waitress
The
has.
little
Towards the end of the night,
Yes.
the mini
Yeah.
waters are
Yeah,
best.
yeah.
Mini waters are huge. If not, it is a place that has dispensers all over the casino floor, I'll just get a Diet Coke or something of that sort. Nothing.
They got Coke machines out there?
Yeah, you
Most
never been to a casino.
yeah.
No, I've never seen a vending machine in a
Really?
It's just you walk
Not
up,
on the
it's
floor.
completely free.
Oh yeah,
the ones around here, yeah.
free vending machines.
Not
for
vending,
soda.
It's a fountain machine.
Yeah, like a fountain drink, like at a
Oh,
movie theater.
interesting.
You've never seen that before?
Never. I've been to a lot of casinos. I'm going to a casino here in a couple weeks.
Okay.
Which one?
I think. I don't want to say the
whatever.
name of
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
but
yeah.
the one near the airport.
Okay,
They-
they don't have that there.
Okay.
They don't have that.
I've been to that casino one time. I don't want to go back.
They got table games though, right?
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
You're a
Right.
casino guy.
Yes. Huge. Get
Are
ready.
you a casino guy?
High minimum, Steve. So
Am I?
get ready.
What's a high minimum?
I mean, sometimes
You're a
if it's
casino guy.
weekend,
You don't know what a high minimum
High
is.
minimum is subjective. I would say
It's subjective, but if you can't,
if it's $25 blackjack, that's fine.
I'd
there will
say
be times where it's hard to find a table
Yeah.
under 50 to 100.
Yeah.
$50 to $100?
Yeah.
Really?
That's why I don't like that casino.
Which is fine. That's kind of like I can deal with it to a point, but sometimes you just want to play quarters or 15, whatever.
Right. There was at the casino in New Orleans, there was one night, a weeknight, that it like hadn't been busy yet, where they put the craps minimums at $50.
That's
which
insane.
Is insanity.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
Because with craps, you're
If it was
playing more
blackjack,
than
I get yes,
10
exactly.
anyways.
Yes,
so
you're
just
playing
make it
the-
10, yeah.
The pass line.
That's my favorite casino game is craps.
Same.
I love craps.
You just lose so much so fast.
That's not true. That's exactly why I like it. If you play the pass line and just that's it.
I don't play the pass line. I play the come bet, and I have fucking.
Well, that's
you play the
called
comeback,
pass line.
you asshole.
Yeah, I don't have a number that I like,
The pass.
so I let the come
comeback-
bet decide what number I play.
Okay.
That is the pass line though. Come.
It's the same thing. You're just playing a variation of it.
Yeah.
But then I get a number after the come bet.
Whatever that number.
Whatever
is,
that number
yeah.
is. Yes, exactly.
So that's no different than playing the pass line. The pass line is just when you start the roll. The come bet's like in the middle of the roll. It'll
Yeah.
replace it for you.
Yeah. You're right.
So you'll if a 6 gets hot and that's what you had on your comeback, you're not going to play that again later.
No, I'll re-put it back on. Like if I won't.
So you'll place it.
Yes, I'll place it then. If I already had it, I'll place it then. Yes. All right, let's get these brains clashing. Dave, you told you were going to bring us a mystery topic, so why don't you hit us with one of those first?
Not really. I had a few off the rip, and like I said, I expected it to go to where I thought Eddie's brain wanted it to go, and then Steven Cheah just ripped off all these just like
You don't have to use any of those.
no. I have been constructing a list in my head recently, and you can fill in the blank here, and we all can. You're not a man if you can't or can blank. And I got 3 things. Bench at least your weight.
Okay.
Throw and catch fluidly.
I can't do that.
Say shit without caring. Like
What's the
I'm
second
getting
one?
to that
I
point.
missed it.
Throw and catch fluidly. Like if you catch the ball and you're like, and you look all awkward while doing
Sure.
it, you're not a man.
Okay.
Same thing with throwing. If it looks like I'm throwing lefty and it's your actual like strong
Sure.
arm,
Yep.
that's a problem. You're not a man. So do you have anything on your list, Steven?
I think, and I did struggle with this for a while. I conquered this close to 10 years ago. It was a great fear of mine. Change a tire.
Why was that so scary to you?
I had no idea how to do it. Like, what happens if a tire pops? Do I pull over? Where do I pull over? Am I going to be on the side of the road doing this? I don't have AAA. Do I do a gas? Like, and then do I have a jack? Like, I've never used this stuff before. It's not something you like when I was in high school, shop wasn't a class. So how exactly am I learning that? How many times does your tire pop with your family growing up that you are there and like engage and can remember all this stuff? So
It's kind of crazy they don't teach that in driver's ed.
I didn't
Feels
have
like
a
they
driver's ed
should.
class either.
Honestly, they really should. I
They
never
should.
thought about
They
that.
should
Why
teach you
wouldn't
how to
they?
change the tire in
Yeah.
driver's ed?
How easy was it though?
I wouldn't say it was
extremely-
super easy,
it's
but like it
extremely
was you could I was able to figure it out. Like
Yeah.
it was me and my wife were going to a movie, bad pothole,
out.
popped it, but like we popped it going through it was like right after a toll. So I had to like turn around and I was able to easily get off. There was a gas station there. So it was pretty like perfect circumstances. Did it in, under half an hour, but like had to take it out. Like, oh my God, what the fuck do I do here?
I was driving. This is when I was like 23. I was driving up to like right over the border of Wisconsin for a baseball tournament when I was coaching, and I was on 94 North. So
Yep.
you're familiar with it. And I was driving a Honda Accord at the time, a nicer car actually for a younger person. It was a decent car. and the wheel bearing, I think it was called, it snapped.
Okay.
So all the pressure of the tire, anytime I would turn, the lug nut started shooting off the tire. So I thought I hit like a pothole or something, and I'm like, what the fuck is that noise? So I pull off to the side of the road. I look at all my tires. I start kicking them. They're all perfectly inflated. And I start driving again, and I'm on the shoulder of like a major highway, you know, and same thing. It was fucked up. And I look at the wheel. It was hanging on by 2 lug nuts. So I eased it over the exit. And if I was going 70, 80 mile, whatever it was on the highway. If 2 more lug nuts, that tire would have just fucking shot off and I could have been dead. It was really scary. But yes, to your point, changing a tire is something that every man should be able to do.
Did you say you never went to driver's ed?
No.
What?
Yeah, we that wasn't I'm sorry. There wasn't like a class in high school like AC Slater, you know, in Saved by the Bell. There was like a driving school you had to do, but it was not part of
we could
high
do
school.
either or.
Like you went around with like a practice driver, it was like student driver on the back.
Yeah,
they had the brake and all that.
I mean, you made it seem like
you just got in a car and took your test.
Yeah.
No, you had to do a certain number of hours with that dude. I do remember one time I got in and we just had to drive to his house because he had to take a shit.
Nice. He's like, hey guys, I gotta take it down.
It was me and this girl.
There was this kid I went to.
I think that's a good one though, Che. I think
that is a good one. I went to high school with this kid. His name was Alberto, and he was a class troublemaker. And he would drive himself on his own to driver's ed, and every single day, the teacher would shit his pants at this kid, and he just didn't care. He'd laugh in his face, get in the car after class, and fucking drive off.
Right. I mean, driving is fairly easy. I'm not saying that I'm a great driver. I'm not, but like the basics, like driving around town.
I would agree, Steven.
So what do you think of Dave's list?
I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it certainly could be more expansive, but I think those are some
it's percolating right now.
Key things. The throwing and catching thing, I think, like, just don't look like a doofus. I don't want to say fluidly, like, you know, I'm not saying, you know, make it one-handed catches on the run and like
exactly. Just the basic form of catching it.
What if you could do one sport but you can't do another?
Some people are like that. Like
hockey guys.
A lot of I was just about to say we have a friend of ours, friend of the program, who's been on many times. No, he doesn't work for us. Former Blackhawk. I watched him play softball a couple years ago, and I'm like, this is the least athletic professional athlete I've ever seen in my entire life.
I think if they're like hockey pros, like the hand-eye coordination doesn't go away. Like Whitney's a very good golfer. I assume most hockey players are good golfers because and same with baseball players because it's like you understand at least the mechanics of like
swinging
see ball, hit ball,
yes,
and swing something.
Right.
But yeah, what's another thing like you have? You know what? Something I probably can't do is like if I were, and I have no experience with this, but like going into the woods, setting up a tent and like making a fire.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would thrive in that. I bet you would be pretty good at that.
I think I could make it work. Yeah. I think I could, if push came to shove. I've watched enough of the Outdoors Boys Instagram and YouTube videos where I could start a fire on my own with twigs or something. We could actually, know what, Ed? I'll let you do that for a challenge later on this summer. If we can obviously refine the idea, but see if, you know, we can make a fire in the woods or something.
I'm about it. Survivor man, White Sox Dave. Right? I'm with it. Let's do it.
I mean, someone needs to fill the void of that guy. What's that guy's name, by the way?
I think his kid's doing it, right?
Is that what he's doing? Because he had like, I was kind of emotional when I saw his goodbye. He's like, yeah, I'm done. See you later. I don't even know his name, you know? The blonde guy with the glasses that is doing all the outdoor shit in Alaska.
No, I know. Yeah. I know he retired. I didn't watch any of his videos. We watched one or two on the Yak, and I became aware of him. But to say that you got emotional, you didn't even know the guy's name is crazy.
I mean, I don't want to say emotional, but I was like, I like this guy. Like, that sucks. Why is he going away? It wasn't like I was crying, Steven. I was embellishing for dramatic effect right there. But
all right, anything else in this topic before we move on to another clash of the brains? Feeling like you guys feels like we haven't had much clashing yet. You guys are
we'll get there. We'll get there.
You guys are on the same page.
And I don't.
What do you think? All right. What about manning a grill? Have you seen Steven's grilling?
That is part of the. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up. That's part. Was that a troll? The burgers.
I posted that because I knew it would be funny. I don't think it was a troll. The grill just set on fire.
So for people that don't know, Steven posted a picture He said I grilled burgers and they were burnt to shit.
It's like you took a flamethrower to them.
Yeah.
They were in heavy flames for several minutes. Like I could not get. We were at this lake house we rented. The grill was there. It was the first night. It looked pretty dirty, but it's like, all right, whatever. Like, you know, it's a rented house. I'm sure a lot of people have used this, but we were grilling. I think there were 6 burgers on at the time, and I understand like the grease will drippings and whatever, and those will, you know, enhance the flames. But all the stuff that built up on the bottom caught fire to a point where like I turned it down, I turned the gas off, I closed the lid. This fire was not going out. I actually had
yourself a grease fire, Steven.
I had to move the grill away from it. It was like right next to a banister because flames were coming out the back, and I was like, this could fucking light. It was a log cabin. It could light the whole place on fire.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem with
So
those rental grills is people don't clean them, and then
there's just all the grease builds up, and then you got yourself some burnt burgers later on.
We actually had the homeowner. They came back and cleaned out the grill. And
that was nice of them.
Had a
So you Karen'd.
time.
You Karen'd and complained.
We were like, this grill's unusable at this point.
Is that not fair to do?
I wouldn't.
It's for their best interest.
So here's the thing about me. I'm
the house almost caught on
a
fire.
gigantic pussy about carrying.
Okay.
Caring. Like if I was in that situation and I was with family or my girlfriend or anything, and that grill was like completely unusable, I would be terrified to complain to like the Airbnb owner or something.
I think that's just me. I probably would do it, but it was like 3 families, and it was like, we should just reach out. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't be the one to do it, and everybody I'd be with would be like, no, we paid for this. And I would be terrified because I'd be like, they're gonna think we're such complaining assholes and that we're not appreciative of them. Like I am so bad in those situations. It's awful.
Here's one for you. You know, you went to Turkey. Your hair looks good.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
If you go get a haircut and it's not exactly to your specifications, do you speak up?
I don't, because I've gone to the same guy for like a decade now,
so he knows you.
And he knows exactly what to do. I don't even ask him; he just does it.
But there has been,
for sure. If in the hypothetical, I would not say anything. No, Steve, I'd be like, "Yep, looks great, looks awesome," and then I would just be miserable for and I would tip him just as much as I tipped him
for weeks. Yes.
Yeah. Like,
what would you do?
I will, and I have said something like, not like, "Hey, you fucked the whole thing up," but like, "Hey, can you just get this spot or whatever?"
That's fair.
I have been
fair.
in that situation where it's like, oh fuck, like he didn't do everything I wanted. I can see the stray hairs. Then I gotta go home. I gotta be like, tell my wife, be like, "Hey, can you get this spot?"
I would do exactly that. Yes,
that's actually way worse, because not only are you a pussy in the moment and you just eat it and live with it, but then you have to go show your significant other, be like, I didn't have the fucking stones to speak up to this guy who I was paying and tipping to literally do the service I'm asking you to help with.
So would you send back food at a restaurant then? Specifically a steak at a high-end Chicago restaurant?
This is the only time I ever have in my life.
If it is like completely rare or completely like, I don't know. It would have to be egregious. And I mean, I order medium rare plus, like nothing crazy stuff they're used to all the time. If I cut it open and it is well done and I'm paying,
$100,
$50-$60 for just the steak, I would probably say something. If it's like, if I'm ordering medium rare and it's medium, like that's fine.
That's how I like. So Ed is bringing this up because this happened. The one time I've ever sent back food, it was with Ed. We were at a high-end steakhouse in Chicago. I got a porterhouse in it. I cut into the filet section of the porterhouse. It was toasted. It was well done. So I'm like, dude, this is, 70, 80, whatever amount steak, expensive steak. I did send it back, and I could not sleep that night. I felt awful for it. I felt like I just killed this guy's fucking mom in front of his face.
I think if it's within, like, generously 20% of what you requested.
If it was media, if I saw any red at all, I would have just sucked it up and ate it.
Right.
There was no red. It was gray in the middle.
Would you not do that? Okay, how do you get your steak?
No, I sided with him. I just like to give him shit sometimes.
Yeah,
but I always say that I side with you after.
Yeah, he does.
Because he looked at me and I was like, yeah, I think you're within your rights to send it back.
But what also sucks about that is not only is that an awkward conversation to have, you delay everyone's meal because they have to make a whole other steak.
Right. Exactly. Well, good thing about a steak though is it's quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt like ass. I'm like, oh damn. Like even thinking about that situation drives me nuts.
So where do you guys stand on? Did the rest of the table have to wait till he gets his food back to eat?
No,
they
absolutely.
I wouldn't want anybody waiting on my behalf in that situation.
Okay.
And especially it was just like me, you, and Dante, right?
Yes.
Just the three of it might have been just the three of us.
What are your speaking of Dante? What are your guys' thoughts on Dante being on the summer?
I think it's great
thing.
for content.
Yeah.
He so naturally we all well, can we talk about that? How you and Chief discovered how he was on it?
Yeah, I saw the poster and I was looking through. I was like, all right,
I showed Ed. I'm like, hey Ed, what do you notice?
In my mouth, like my jaw dropped, and I was like I audibly laughed. I was like, whoa, I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
And then 2 minutes later, Chief walks in. This at like 9:30 in the morning or whatever. We all just got here, and Eddie did the same thing to Chief. He's like, Chief, what do you notice? And you can see Chief going like. And then when he notices Dante, his jaw dropped and starts laughing. So instantly I ripped on Dante texted Dante to start ripping on him. And he asked me, he's like, yeah, man, are you going to come out and visit me this summer? I am like, that sounds like the legit, like there is not one larger pit of hell that I would rather not go to than that right there.
I mean, it'll be fun. It's the only thing that makes it awkward and like no disrespect. It's just it would be any of us if it's like we're all in our upper 30s and most people go into their young 20s and it's just a different
Dante.
lifestyle. But I think that's fine.
You're not 40 yet.
39.
39. Dante's 42, I believe.
Something like that.
And even like Tommy Smokes, who's 29 now.
Yeah.
Like he's
Is he
kind of toying.
You know who the new cast member is too, right?
Danny Conrad?
Yeah.
Oh, he's going out there.
He's
for it?
32. So
Yeah, he's the old guy too.
He's young presenting though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Both of them are. But yeah, I like they will have a blast out there. It's going to be outstanding content, but like that life passed me by a decade ago.
What about this, Dave?
Mm-hmm.
To switch gears here, would you rather be a star athlete or a rock and roll star?
I think
there's a clear answer. I don't even think it's close.
star.
What do you think?
Okay, so just you have to answer one or the other. There's
Yes.
no gray area.
There's none.
Athlete.
What's yours?
Rockstar. You crush it every time. The crowd's singing your words. You can have, many girls in the audience. Like an athlete is great. You said, but then you have to like deliver. Like if you're a rock star, you're playing the same songs all the time. So there's nobody playing defense on you. Mm-hmm. Like it's so easy. And plus,
it's fair. That's fair.
A lot of people would have thought the answers were flipped here.
I say rockstar, or I say MLB. I would gravitate towards MLB, but pro athlete because the career would be that much shorter. If you're a star and you say you make a couple $100 million in your career, whatever sport it is, then you just ride off into the sunset. You can do whatever the fuck you want for 35 years when you retire at age 35 or whatever. Rock stars, like, yes, they love it typically. Like the Grateful Dead, they've been doing this for 50 fucking years. Same with the Stones to an extent. I don't know that I would want to do that. That's so much.
But you don't have to. Like,
no, you don't have to. You don't have to.
You can hang it up whenever you want.
That's true.
And
Jay is smoking this brain clash right here. I think rock stars
the way to go.
Yeah,
dude, imagine selling out. Soldier not the best venue, but like imagine the best venue in the world, Red Rocks, selling it out, and there are just girls flashing their tits at you, singing your words.
Okay, here's a more specific question: which rock star would you want to be?
Like,
we'll just say musician. We don't have to limit it to just rock and roll.
Like, I would be them now, or I have their whole career.
Whole career.
That's hard. I mean, I'd definitely go with some type of very successful lead guitar guy that's probably still kicking.
You just described my guy.
I think Dave Grohl wouldn't be bad because he was, drums for Nirvana, got to be that, but then he's, lead singer of Foo Fighters and like out in front and all that shit. How about you?
I mean, so Dave Grohl's on my like Mount Rushmore of guys I want to sit in a dive bar with and just lob questions to, just like pick his brain, and I think he'd be awesome to do that with. But I think the obvious answer is John Mayer. I mean, Dave Grohl he just had a kid out of wedlock like a year or two ago. So maybe not as great a person as.
Are we holding all musicians up to the wedlock?
No, I'm not.
Do the bastard.
I'm not, but like I would. So like Derek Jeter, he did it perfectly. He never got married. He was the perfect pro athlete. He had his Jeter gift baskets and everything.
Now, right?
He might be now.
Minka Kelly?
Is he married to Minka Kelly? I know he dated her.
He's married. He's not married to Minka Kelly, but he's married to Hannah.
Oh, Storm. Or
No, not Hannah.
Hannah Storm is
Storm?
still bringing the heat.
Hannah Davis.
Hannah Davis,
Davis.
the
How-
SI model.
Lance, look up how old Hannah Storm is. Hannah Storm, my God.
I thought you don't like older chicks though. She's
Where'd
not.
you hear that?
You?
Not my browser history.
Oh, what's in your browser history right now, Steven?
Nothing crazy. StatMuse.
StatMuse, yeah.
Bunch
No
of box
28-minute videos.
No, I mean once you watch it, you kind of have the. It's not.
yeah.
Yeah, we're not doing the basics every day. We're not.
Yeah.
Just going out to the driving range. It's-
But he did it like John Mayer never got married, right? I don't believe.
I have no idea.
I don't think he did. But
62 years old for Hannah Storm.
like,
Still.
wow,
Bringing the heat.
Bringing the heat.
heat. But
Elizabeth Hurley's going to get all the credit, and rightfully so. But like, Hannah
not
Storm.
Jennifer Coolidge.
Oh my God! Do you know this about me?
That's why I brought it up, Stevie.
I
'cause
hate Jennifer Coolidge.
I know you do. You detest
her being in the Minecraft movie as a parent is kind of offensive. Like, why are you bringing that aspect to like a PG movie for kids? Like a lonely housewife being like, just get that the fuck out of here.
Can I ask this too? Did you just compare Elizabeth Hurley to Hannah Storm?
No. Elizabeth Hurley is laps her by a mile, but I'm just saying for the older, however old Elizabeth Hurley is, 50 plus, 55 plus,
You're just saying.
still looking great.
Okay. All right. I was just curious.
Not even close.
Hold on, I haven't
know what
seen
you're doing.
Minecraft. What does she do in Minecraft? Are you
She
just
plays the role she plays in every movie. Like, if you get pissed about like Denzel playing the same guy in multiple movies, I think you should refocus your attention on Jennifer Coolidge.
But
It's
nobody
that's
on earth
outrageous.
is saying that Jennifer Coolidge is the best on earth at what she does. She's just Jennifer Coolidge, kind of the like, oh, she was the MILF in what's it
American
called?
Pie.
American Pie.
Good
like,
rebuttal, Dave. Good rebuttal.
Like, no one says that about her, but that is true about her. She is the same thing in every movie, in every commercial. Even she's the same person.
Yes.
But no one on earth is saying that Jennifer Coolidge is like a top 5 actor or actress.
So let's go into the Denzel thing. What is your favorite and least favorite Denzel role that you've seen?
So I saw I saw half of The Last Gladiator in theaters the day after I got back from Istanbul and passed out when the Sharks were in the Coliseum.
Okay.
I fell asleep. So
That scene was horrible.
the movie itself was not good up until yes, I only saw
okay.
half.
I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it,
but I didn't- I also
But
didn't
I
ridiculous.
don't dislike most Denzel movies. Like, the one movie I think sucks is The Book of Eli. I think that movie sucks.
Okay.
And it's not because of him. He's good in it. It's because of what's her face. She's meant to be the chick from that 70s show. That's it. And the voice of
Meg.
Megan, Family Guy. Like, that's it. Just stay to that. You're great at that. You're not good enough to be a co-lead in a Denzel movie.
Okay.
Training Day, fucking love that movie. John Q, good movie. Malcolm X, very good movie. American Gangster, great movie. He's just kind of the same guy in every movie, which is fine. He's Mariano Rivera, first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the best all time at what he did, but he's kind of a one-trick pony to me. And I think that's fair to say. And I did, and you always bring this up, I did originally dig my heels in and say he was overrated, and I think that you can make an argument that he is because his range isn't what like a Leo or a Daniel Day-Lewis is. You know, they don't he doesn't really go outside his comfort zone that much. That's not to say he's not great at what he does. He is. I just think he's kind of the same guy in every movie, and a lot of people hopped on my side of that argument after Gladiator.
I mean, that's kind of the role he was like. That's what the character is. They cast him in that, and obviously, he took the role. But I can see where it comes from. I don't necessarily agree. Did you by any chance see Fences with Okay, I thought that was pretty good.
Flight was very good. He was pretty much the same guy in it, though. Outstanding movie, though. It made me afraid to fly for like a minute.
Yeah. Remember the Titans, a little bit different, but yes, like he's cast to play like a boisterous, not necessarily.
Yeah.
He's designed to play like an alpha male.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And he dominates that when he's in that role.
Training Day, I think, is his best movie.
It's such a good fucking movie. It's such a good movie.
Steven, do you always signal when you switch lanes?
I do, but I know like Feidelberg said that he almost never signals, which is crazy.
It's
Are you
an
a signal
asshole
guy?
move.
Dave, do you?
I actually look. I won't. I'll look in the rearview mirror quick. If someone's behind me, yes. If not, no. If I'm on like a little
If you're on the
side,
highway, you have to.
yeah, you should absolutely, because that's like minorly dangerous.
Dovetailing off of that, what is the most you will switch lanes when driving?
This was one of Steven's piping hot questions. If you switch, hold on, let me get the exact question.
So let me get to your topics. I already got them.
If you switch lanes more than 4 times in a minute, are you an asshole? What is an acceptable number? I don't think so. Why? Why would
4 times in a minute?
4 times in a minute. There better be someone in labor in the backseat if you're, or you like actually.
So
have
you're
diarrhea.
sitting in traffic on a 94, going back home.
You're zigzagging through everybody.
That's your prerogative, I think.
I'm asking you, Dave Williams, are you zigzagging through everyone?
No, I'm not. I'm staying in the right lane as long as possible.
You're a right lane guy?
I'm a right lane guy. We drafted this signs year old.
Oh my God.
I get yelled at when I'm driving now because I'm just the slowest driver.
You're a throw fast, drive slow guy?
I'm a drive slow guy.
It's a rare breed.
I just think I got older. I don't know. I'm a slow driver. I get step on the fucking gas. Like the road rage, like I don't get road rage that much. The people that I drive get more road rage because of how slow I'm driving at this point.
So once it clears up past O'Hare, 70 miles an hour.
No, at that, if it's open highway, then I'm cruising. I'm going 85.
Okay.
But if I'm just sitting in traffic, I'm sitting in the right lane waiting for my exit the entire time. For the most part, unless
so then why are you on the side of people that switch lanes?
I don't care. I'm not thinking about
you like that. The one thing that pisses me off.
I love what Francis does, by the way, and I would love to be in a situation where I could do that, where he blocks the people going around on the shoulder.
Nobody's trying to do that in the right lane.
That's where they would do it. You could do it on either lane.
Oh, I guess you're getting off. Yeah,
you could do it on either side.
Yeah,
but I love that move. That's like the biggest cunt bag move you can make.
What do you think about
someone better be in labor if you're pulling that move?
What do you think about him being the tortoise of the road, Cheah?
What do you mean?
He's the turtle. He's just the snail.
I mean, somebody's got to be. It's very weird to be like, I can throw 90, but I'm also going to drive.
I can't throw 90 anymore. It's sad.
15. And I like going slow, like in the burbs. Like if I got nowhere to go, yeah. Let me go 20 miles an hour. Just relax. Yeah. Listen to some tunes. Listen to a podcast.
Here's one that was spurred from this weekend. So my girlfriend had 2 friends of hers from Germany that were in the States this week, and they're born-bred Germans. And the conversation naturally shifted, does everybody in this bar have a gun right now? Because they just assume every American is a gun-toting, a Wile E. Coyote, or what's his name?
Cowboy.
The Sam guy from Looney Tunes.
Yosemite
Sam. Just like gun-toting Americans. And I said, no, I don't think anybody has a gun in this bar right now. I'd be surprised if you see one single gun not on a police officer the entire time you're in the United States. And it got me thinking, what is and there is a reason that I've shifted to this question, and I'll get to it, but what is the most angry your father has ever been with you? Like, has he ever like spanked you? Did you get spanked growing up?
No. No, I think one time I cursed at my mom, and it was like actually in the last,
my second
10
one.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened?
I had a situation where I was explaining myself, and I did use, and it was just me and her, I did use like profane language, not in like a fuck you way, but just like a, and he did not take kindly to that, so I got a call after, and we hashed it out. It was fine.
Yeah. Okay. I did something similar, but when I was probably 15, I would say. I don't think I could drive yet. I was probably 8th grade freshman year of high school. And this is when, I want to say when AIM was a thing.
Yep.
Instant Messenger. And my mom was in the kitchen cooking dinner, and she was yelling at me to help her about something or something. I was sitting on AIM. I'm trying to wrap up conversations. You got 10 of them going at one time with all your buddies and all the chicks and all that.
Sick brag.
And I was like, trying to get over with the conversations, and she's yelling at me, and out of nowhere, I don't know why I did it, because it wasn't a big deal what she was doing even. I just go, shut up, bitch. And my dad heard it, and I thought he was going to slit my throat. He threw me up against the wall, and he's like, you ever fucking say that again, I'll fucking kill, whatever he said. and it was within, he should have done that. I accepted, I don't know why I said that. And that was probably the second most. But back to the gun question. We have them. I meant to bring it into the room for this, but the airsoft guns. I got a hold of one when I got my driver's license. All right, and I had one of the 9mm ones, and I don't remember if we painted the orange cap on it or twisted it off.
Yep.
And at the time, my dad. So I had a '92 Buick Century. It was my first car.
Okay.
My dad's car was in the shop or broke down or something, so he's taking it at like 6 a.m. to go to work for the day. And I hear he started it in the driveway and everything, and then all of a sudden he throws the fucking front door open. Dave, get your fucking ass down here. I hid the gun in the glove box just to be a badass. Mm-hmm. He thought it was a real gun. So he took a sledgehammer to it and fucking beat the shit out of it before I'm like, Dad, that's a BB gun. He's like, that doesn't matter if it's a fucking BB gun. That, like, a cop sees that, he's putting a fucking bullet in your brain if he opens that.
Good dad.
Yeah. And to this day, like, I get the willies thinking about how angry he was at me for that, having that gun in that glove box.
Did you guys see the video that was going viral like a day or two ago with the old man beating the shit, like hitting a teenager at Tim Hortons?
Mm-mm.
You not see this?
When was this?
I feel like that's a good place for an old man to whoop ass, though. Tim Hortons.
So apparently, it was pretty viral like a day or two ago. Is Tim Hortons Canadian donut shop? Somebody, I guess, threw a donut at this guy's wife and like maybe said something to her, and it was like a teenager. He looked like he was like 13 or something like that. But this like old man who's 75, 80 years old gets up. The kid's sitting in the booth and just starts pounding him. And there's like the kid's there with his family and they're just like shocked. I actually side with the dude. Like if you're, that family, whoever I think their mom was with them, or they could have also all been related. I don't know the full story behind this. But if you're with that kid and he's doing that, that kid deserves that. You can't be throwing food at old ladies.
No.
In a fucking restaurant.
Are you a defender of mutual combat?
Further define.
So now I don't want to speak in definitives, but I believe in Texas. If you're at a bar and you're like, hey, let's step outside, me versus you, let's fight this over. That's legal, not illegal. Legal. You're allowed to do that, and you won't get in trouble for it. Just like, hey, you guys hash it out.
So and consenting adults.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. But obviously this is not between two consenting adults. This is one guy just beating the shit out of another kid who deserves it. I think that should be legal too. Like we talked about how bullying is good for kids to an extent. I think not everybody, but a lot of people just need their ass kicked here and there to shape up.
Yes and no, because my fucking Twitter algorithm is so weird because I watch like a fight video and then I think I saw this like, I got into this thing where like watching all these pedophiles get beaten up, and like at a certain point you like kind of feel bad for those guys.
Hit me a while back, yeah.
What happens with this? So anyway, my algorithm is horrible right now. I watched one last night where it's a guy stabbing another guy, and then he goes back to his daughter, and I guess what happened was some vendor, and this was like maybe in Turkey or something like that, kicked the guys. He's pushing a stroller, was trying to sell him something. The guy said no, like not interested, so he kicked over the stroller and then pulled a knife. I don't know how much this is true. I'm just kind of speaking with the context that was given. But the guy, I guess, knew martial arts, took the knife away, and then started stabbing the guy. I think and the guy died. I think that is warranted if you get a knife pulled on you. But then, like, at what point is it too much? Like, should you just detain him and force, the police to come? That's probably the best move. I don't necessarily think stabbing the guy to death is an optimal resolution to all that, but at the same time, like I can understand that if you're with your kid, they kick the stroller over, so the kid's probably like 2 years old, and then pull a knife. That's a fight or flight situation, in which
at that point, like I don't have children. You obviously do. I can imagine if I did, then I would go to the world's end to defend them,
right? And
in that situation, I'm assuming he's trying to kill me. I would probably act in kind.
Yeah.
In that exact situation.
That's why I don't know what the ruling of this is. I think it happened in 2023, but I don't know the ruling of it is, but like I kind of side with the guy who stabbed him. Like as weird as that sounds, it's he didn't initiate it.
No. I agree with that.
You think you'll stab someone someday?
Can never rule it out. Probably not.
Hopefully not. That'd be.
But yeah, I mean, if it's that situation,
You would in that situation. If it's either you, your family, or them, you're taking their life 1,000 times out of 1,000, right?
I feel like the statute of spoilers is enough with this, but the Saving Private Ryan stabbing is one of the all-time most horrific scenes.
I got to refine it, but I wrote a blog like 10 years ago. Maybe 7 years ago, maybe 2018-ish, where the most punchable characters in movie history, Private Upham or Corporal Upham from Saving Private Ryan is absolutely like top 3 most hated characters in any movie I've ever watched, solely because of that scene when he's walking up the stairs, and it's that fucking German guy they let go.
Yeah, it's a great movie scene.
Fantastic movie scene. I have a few others if you'd like to continue.
Let's do one more because Cheah has the yak soon. Let's do one more.
Okay. All right. We can stow a few of these. I got the blue car. I wanted to talk about that. You said death row meal, but here's one that I conjured up that I think could be fun. If Barstool were a petting zoo, just Barstool Sports petting zoo, who would be which animal and why? Like, obviously, I'm the lion because I'm the most regal and like the king of the jungle and all that. But like, is Mincy? Is he like a monkey, or
No, he's not limber enough for that.
No, that's true.
Let's use a real zoo because there's no lions at a petting zoo.
Yeah, just real zoo.
Real zoo. I mean, big cat would obviously be a big cat, so lion or tiger or whatever you want to throw on there.
What would Eddie be? Like the polar bear? No, he's not. Polar bears kill.
They're vicious.
He's kind of sly. What's a sly animal? A coy animal.
Porcupine maybe? But
Not
no, you're friendly,
what I was
though.
thinking, but
maybe an otter?
Otters are kind of vicious too, I believe.
What?
Yeah, otter will fuck you up. Or otters are like rapists or something.
I believe
Just be throwing around the R word.
I'm being honest.
I believe
think.
otters are rapists against other otters.
I'm not going to condemn him before I know all the facts.
Have you ever had a dog hump your leg?
Otters are murderous necrophiliacs. That's the first thing that popped up.
So
technically, all animals are murderous. No, they have to kill to eat.
Or
I think they kill
in a way
stuff in clams and they smash it against the rocks.
And they eat it on their bellies.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you just say this? Let's do this because there's so many people in this office. What do you think Dave would be? And Dave, what do you think Cheah would be?
What would Dave be at a zoo? Orangutan.
Strong, huge, imposing, insanely smart.
Is that what
I
you were
agree.
thinking? Explain why you thought of orangutan.
Hairiness. Not on the head necessarily. Like kind of barrel chested.
I like that.
Hairy, not evolved.
No, orangutans are very evolved. They're like
you don't
99.9% of the same DNA as us, Steven.
Yeah, I guess that's a fair point, but like not like compared to, but like there's an obvious difference.
Haven't you seen Planet of the Apes? The orangutan's like the main guy. He's talking to them in English.
That's true.
So here, you want to have a weird brain thing?
You don't necessarily go to the zoo to see the orangutan, but you see it's there. It's like, oh, sick.
Yeah, I like that.
Dave?
I was thinking kind of penguin. Goofy, fun to be around.
That's great. It's a lot of people's favorites.
Yeah, everybody loves the penguin.
Yeah.
They're very social animals, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first animal, and I believe you can pet them. Can I pet you?
Dude, the Brookfield Zoo, you can get like a personal experience of the penguin for like $45.
Yeah, 1,400.
45. Oh, like you get to go in a room and just like
I
feed them. I don't know, lettuce or something like that.
Yeah, they're actually there on Saturday. I wish I could have saw them at. They brought them to the Sox Park on Saturday.
Dude, you know Third Eye Blind is playing at Brookfield Zoo?
No.
Okay,
like July 18th.
I saw Third Eye Blind live
thing.
for Wish Fest, which you've been to.
Yeah. Third Eye Blind is going to be there?
They were a few years ago, and they sound exactly like the studio recordings.
I've
They
seen them in concert several times.
are awesome live. They're so good live. So that'll be awesome. I'm glad you brought that up, Steven.
Wait, can we end on the death row meal?
Well, let's save it for next time. We can do this again.
Okay.
We'll save this for next time. And I think we got to start calling this like I'm basically the judge. Like I'm like filling out my scorecard. And, you know, it's either going to be a brain clash or a brain match. I think today was more of a brain match. You guys were kind of more even-keeled. I think your biggest disagreement was on the athletes versus rockstar, which I think Cheah won.
Okay, that's fair.
I think the fact that rock stars never have to worry about being better than someone else, they just kind of exist, unless if they're, you know, I'm sure they're ultra competitive in some ways, but there isn't a
Who hated Led Zeppelin?
sure, but there's not a
Sure, a bunch of
Jordan.
people in that
Yeah,
day.
there's not a legacy debate with them as vicious as there is for athletes,
Sure.
which can be annoying.
Yes.
Like, and you say that they just retire, like they will retire. They could retire too, and then when they need money, let's go on tour. And then
Exactly.
you go into hiding for 5 more years. So I got to.
Oh, I'm broke. Let's do a world
Yes,
tour.
yeah.
Sure. No, I get that. Yeah.
So I think Cheah gets the dub on that, and I like kind of thought like athlete, but he pulled me over there. So I think that brain kind of, even though it was a brain match, not much of a clash. I think Cheah wins this round.
Okay.
Okay.
Looking forward to round 4.
All right. Maybe
Yeah,
we'll
round
do,
4 we'll workshop it better
Yeah.
for next time.
maybe we'll do it monthly. If anyone out there, we'll see if people like this, and maybe we'll do it monthly, and maybe we will fix the stakes, or we'll figure out a better way to format it. So that's it. Anything else?
Cool. No, that's it.
That's it. Thanks everybody for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on Tuesday.